Senator Girdler. Senator Maiden.
Here.
Senator Thomas.
Here.
Representative Petrie. Representative Stalker.
Present.
Representative Thomas.
Present.
Co-Chair McPherson.
Here.
Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Present. We have a quorum. So with that, do I have a motion and a second to approve the December meeting minutes?
Second.
All right. We have a motion by Senator Maiden and a second by Chair McPherson. Does any members object? Catherine, will you report the information items?
There are 4 information items to report pursuant to KRS 26A1681, KRS 45793, and KRS 45818. The Administrative Office of the Courts, the Finance and Administration Cabinet with the Commonwealth Office of Technology reporting independently, and post-secondary institutions managing their own capital construction under KRS 164A 580 transmitted quarterly capital project status reports. The second is pursuant to KRS 45765. The University of Kentucky reported various medical and research equipment purchases. Pursuant to KRS 45812-1, through their fiscal agents, 4 school districts, none of which needed additional tax levies to pay debt service, reported upcoming bond issues to finance new projects. The school districts were Boone County, Callaway County, Kenton County, and Laurel County. The final one is pursuant to KRS 45A77-6. The University of Kentucky issued an RFP for an enterprise services partner.
Thank you, Catherine. I would like to acknowledge the point on 3D, post-secondary notice of intent to use this public-private partnership. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. This is very interesting, and it is something, if you haven't read much on it, it was in the Herald Leader, but it's a P3 partnership, public-private partnership, where the University of Kentucky is constructing and making some improvements to their student housing and their dining facilities, and they're exploring a private partnership to go in place. And I personally find that very interesting and very appealing. It could be perhaps a better way to utilize the taxpayer dollar in coordination with a private dollar and perhaps come with a better result. So I'm just going to encourage, there's a couple points today that as we're puzzling through some of what's before us, I think this is a great opportunity to look for effectiveness, efficiency, and how we better spend our taxpayer dollar. This will be a challenging budget year. So I think that's part of what we're tasked with a bit in this committee. All right. So we're on 4, the lease report from the Finance and Administrative Cabinet. Natalie Bronner, I think, is here. Oh, you're here remotely to present agenda item 4, a new lease and 10 lease renewals requiring action. Do I have a motion and a second to roll them into one roll call vote?
Motion. I'll second.
Okay, I think, was that Maiden that made a motion? Okay, Senator Maiden with the motion and Senator Thomas second. Any member object? All right, Mrs. Bronner, please begin.
Thank you so much. And again, my name is Natalie Bronner. I'm the Director of the Division of Real Properties. The first item today is a new lease for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services Department for Community-Based Services in Harlan County, and that's PR 5800. This lease resulted from the competitive bid process outlined in KRS 56803. With only one responsive proposal received, the agency has recommended acceptance of the proposal submitted by Village Center LLC. The proposed lease is for 9,420 square feet of office space and 60 reserved paved parking spaces at an annual rental rate of $25.62 per square foot, including water and sewer, which is $241,340.40 annually through June 30th, 2033. This lease is being reported pursuant to KRS 56823-2 since the lease cost exceeds $100,000.
Natalie, I think this is one that we did want to talk about.
Okay.
Even though we talked about rolling them in. has this one been reviewed before and put
It has.
out for bid?
Yes.
And I think we talked before that there are other spaces leased by the Commonwealth that are currently leasing at $9.44 per square foot, but this one is leasing for $25.62.
Yes, the county average there is $9.44. And this has been bid multiple times. Out of the committee, it came to the committee last year, well, actually at the end of 2024, and was not approved. And so we went through the process again and advertised, and this is the result of that advertisement.
McPherson?
Could I request that we stand at ease just a second? I would make a motion that we remove the rolling of these and take them one at a time.
The second by Representative Thomas. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Okay. So we agree. So as we're reviewing this, today we had a visit from ARH, and I met Joseph Horton from ARH. He's the CEO in Harlan. This was talked about during our Make America Healthy task force, that there's concern about rural health care and the financial health of some of our rural hospitals. So when I was speaking with the CEO of Harlan, there was actually 6 of the ARH CEOs gathered at lunchtime between, I think it was 11:30 and 1, but I needed to leave for caucus at 12:30. So we had to wrap up the conversation rather quickly. But Natalie, when this is put out for bid, would a hospital become aware if they had the square footage? And when I think about this being DCBS, so this would be perhaps food stamps or food supports, as well as maybe even Medicaid or K-CHIP. They may need a medical facility as well. Is this a consideration that the cabinet would take into consideration, coordinating an effort with the hospital?
I have folks on from CHFS, but certainly, I mean, we would welcome all bids, all interaction with any entity that will have interest in participating. I don't know if our folks want to elaborate on that, but
Please.
This is advertised.
Yes, I would love our folks to elaborate. I think it's something that we're eager to serve our constituents well, but we know CHFS has such important work to do. So if you're able to perhaps provide us a little guidance.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Megan Wilson. I'm the Leasing and Design Branch Manager for the Cabinet Health and Family Services. We would obviously consider any space where they bid on it. The majority of this space is office space, though, so it's not medical space. Sometimes we do have medical space that we seek out, but this is in particular just office space. Unfortunately, we're only allowed to look at who actually bid on the opening. So we only received one bid, and that's all we were allowed to look at.
Senator Maiden?
So, I've actually been in this facility, not the one that they're leasing, but the one they've got now, and Representative Bowl and I have toured this place twice. It might be one of the most deplorable office spaces that I've ever been in my life. The only access to the office, you have to get on an elevator to go up to their office. And that sounds normal, but just as soon as you walk in the door, the elevator's right. I mean, it's just automatically, that's what you got. No steps. During the summer, I had probably 4 emails that their air conditioning was out. In the winter, when Representative Bowling and I toured it, water was pouring in the roof. I mean, it is really bad. And I know that doesn't justify overspending the money, but if we are going to reject and go another way, we need to do something for these people, because it is really, really bad where they're at right now. And Representative Bo and I have been there twice together when they've called us to come look at it.
Yes, Senator Thomas?
Yes, Senator May, I guess I'm gonna make sure I understand. You talking about where they are now?
Yeah. I don't have any idea. I mean, I know approximately where this is, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't know anything about the new facility?
No, sir. I mean, I know where it is, but I don't know. I'm just saying the facility they're in now is really, really bad. They've got one bathroom that they share with everybody in the office and the clients. One bathroom.
So if they're paying more, you may be okay with it if it's a more comfortable facility.
I mean, I don't want to waste money, but I'm telling you, I guess I'd let my dog sleep in it. It's bad. It is really bad where they're at. So
I wonder how does it become this length of time that it became in that poor of repair? How does that work with the cabinet?
So originally, prior to COVID, we had 2 locations in Harlan County. During COVID, obviously, we had to decrease our workforce that was reporting to an office. We had one building that was in worse shape than the current building. So we minimized staff. We ended one lease and had everybody reporting to the same building, with the understanding that we were going to seek new space for everybody to be co-housed together. The cost prior to COVID was $205,000. The new lease would be about $36,000 more than what we were paying before COVID. It's less square footage, but it is overall $36,000 more than what we were paying before COVID. We've worked with this lessor for months, years, basically. It's reoccurring issues. They will basically patch an issue and temporarily fix it, and then that issue reoccurs. And then it happens again and again and again. I'm sure Senator Madden, the HVAC issues that we continue to have there are in the same offices every single year. The flooding we happen is in the same offices in that building every single year. We've worked with the lessor. They're just not renovating or fixing the full issue.
And they're not going to.
So going back to kind of the awareness of ARH or other large entities in the area that may have available space, because they acknowledged a similar opportunity that they actually have more office space that's no longer needed because they've kind of reduced some of their administrative staff that's in person, which seems to be happening. That's a national trend. That's not just a Kentucky trend, but that they may actually have office space. So many of our what's being shared with us, I think, east, west, north, and south. I don't think it's only one part of the state, but that we're sensitive about the rural hospital systems and the financial health of our rural hospital systems. So would they have been in the regular communication loop to have known there's a need or a demand for 9,500 square feet of office space? Would that be a typical?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, just because I don't know of any hospitals that's housing any state offices, I'm not saying that can't happen, but I guess my question would be, how long is this lease for?
The proposed lease?
6 or 8 year. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Natalie.
Oh, okay. I see. 2033.
Yeah, 2033.
Oh, yes.
That's correct.
30-day cancellation. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Representative Stalker.
Thank you, Chair. This is Sarah Stalker. My question is, so we've got this current, you said the current county average for this county is $9.44, but the cost per square footage is running higher at $25.62. My question is, does anybody on this call perhaps, could you give me an average across the state of what we pay for a facility like this for the folks that they serve in that community? Does that make sense the way I phrased it, or should I phrase it differently?
No,
Or try again?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
If
So
you
I
can
don't
give me just a moment, I could calculate one for you for what DCBS pays for all of their offices across the state. It may take me a second to get that number though.
I want to say this too. I think y'all heard her say that we had 2 offices and they combined into one during the COVID. So when Senate Bill 79 hit last year, and we were all thought that that was a good thing for everybody to come back to work, I was inundated with calls. I had no idea that so many people in my district were working from home, but it was because they split these offices up and now they don't have an office. It's the only office they got. So I don't know what the future holds, if we're going to make people come back to work or what, but if they do, they're going to have an office like this to bring them back. But and I think she said we were paying more than this for 2 offices last time. So did I hear that correct?
We were paying $36,000 less per year for the 2 offices prior to
Less.
this.
Okay, less.
Yeah.
36,000 less.
Yes, thank you for that. We don't see that second lease referenced in our material, so it's kind of difficult for us.
She brought that.
Yeah, as a committee to see that. So I think kind of importantly, going back to our question of how can we broaden the opportunity for this public-private partnership. Is there a challenge with CHFS that perhaps we need to more deeply understand? And we don't have to accomplish that today at this committee meeting, but can you give us a little direction on, is there an opportunity to pursue these P3 opportunities to co-locate some of our state-provided resources to our constituents? Because I also have been told that travel, transportation can be a challenge. So I'm imagining myself as a mom with perhaps kiddos. I'd like to make one stop and accomplish 2 or 3 things. What is our opportunity for co-location with CHFS?
So I may suggest, just generally speaking, that we would welcome, any entity to seek, getting on our advertisement list so they can get all of our advertisements straight, sent to them. They'll get them out in real time. We did do some additional advertising for this lease just because, we had struggled getting this location. So we did put this in the local newspaper and do some extra things that we don't normally do. So we did try to seek additional advertisement for this lease.
What did it say, 1105? Yes, Chair McPherson.
Yes, so circling back to what Representative Stalker was discussing, the county average is $9.42. I'm a real estate appraiser. That's pretty similar to our area, $10 a square foot. The $25 that the bid has come back at, is any of that? I saw you said that was water and sewer. Mm-hmm. Or anything. Is there any capital improvements of that? In other words, if we were to approve this contract today, and then it was to go for 6 months, and then we were to maybe get these 2 entities together, and they thought this was a better working relationship with this hospital, and then we did a 30-day notice to get out of the contract. Is any of this money already being spent on capital improvements that could not be recaptured? In other words, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, there's quite a lot of construction that is part of this process, and that's why you're seeing the $25.62 per square foot. And so that's based on CHFS's needs for that space and it being fit up for those needs.
Question. So in a state lease, though, if we were to choose this lease and decided we were going to go somewhere else, don't we have the right to give a 30-day notice and vacate the lease in a state lease?
There is a 30-day cancellation clause. That's correct. Of course, we would be concerned about having those renovations in the works.
And that's my point. We'd have the renovations in the works. And so if we're going to release this, it's not like we're releasing it and then maybe being able to stop it, because they're going to start renovations. And that's going to bring on a whole new process. We either need to do a $300 and some thousand per year, or we need to say no today. And how long would it take you to come back and rebid this if these people that may have a solution be able then to realize that they're eligible to put in a bid?
We would just have to start the process again, cancel the advertisement as it exists, and start the process over again, which does take considerable amount of time. I don't have an exact time frame for you, but obviously, it requires site visits to every site, and then design of each site. So it would take considerable amount of time
And
to
we've already
accomplish that.
rejected once, from my understanding.
Natalie, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't the last time we advertised this, it's been approximately a year since we came before the board the last time. So this time it took a year.
That's correct.
Senator Thomas.
Ms. Bronner, I just want to make sure I understand your position. You presented us with a lease that's ready for finalization today. I agree with Representative McPherson's point. I don't see why we can't go back and either ask for a shorter term or a reduced amount or something, and you bring this back to us next month for approval. I mean, all the terms are here. It's just a matter that we have concern that we may be paying too much, understandably so. I mean, $9.44 to $25. It's almost 3 times the market rate. I don't see why we can't go back and negotiate that in the next 30 days. I don't think why we have to rebid this and delay this by 6 months to a year. Help me out here.
We would have to.
We can go back to the lessor if that is what the committee would like to do, only because there was just one responsive bid, so we can have some additional conversation if that's the committee's desire.
I have a question. Yes, I think Madam Secretary would. Do I have a motion and a second?
No, I have a question.
Okay, we have a question from Representative Stalker.
Thank you. Natalie, can you help me understand something? So it sounds like, yes, we have another interested party who's interested in giving us a bid, even though that process has already officially closed and we have selected this particular person or lessor to work with. I guess my question for you or for the chairs, whoever's most equipped to answer this question, is would we be able to accept a bid without to get an idea of what the hospital could even offer us, to see if it would even be considered competitive before we stop the process and start it all over? I would hate hearing what you said, that it took about a year. I don't want to stop the process only to give them an opportunity to bid on something and then it still isn't going to meet our needs from either a financial perspective or just from a layout perspective, to meet the needs of what DCBS needs for that office. Is there a way to do that keeps everybody in good standing, or is that against the rules?
Yeah, so the only way we could consider any other options at this point would be to cancel this particular advertisement and rebid.
I don't think we should do that.
Another concern I would have looking at the bid is, and I'm very familiar with the hospital down there, is them being able to provide 60 parking spaces. It's a small hospital. That could pose a problem.
And from DCBS, who's on with us, CHFS, what's the, is there actually a need for 60, or is it the fact that there is 60 available being provided to us?
Natalie, do you remember what we advertised for in terms of parking?
Yeah, yes, that's your need. 60
Yeah.
is the need of the
So that
agency.
includes employees and clients.
That's correct.
Another question. So this price includes water and utilities and sewer. Did that, was that on the, when we were leasing two, did those leases include that, or were we paying that on top of the amount of the lease?
I do not know for the lease that was closed 4 years ago during COVID. The current lease, we do not pay water and sewer for. We do pay electric and gas.
So that's additional cost on top of.
Yes, Senator Thomas.
Senator May, you're more familiar with this area than any of us. So I'm going to look for you for guidance. Are we better off going back out and maybe taking a year and rebid this, or should we just try to negotiate with the current successful bidder?
Well, if we're going to look to try to move them, if they can negotiate maybe a 2-year lease, because even if ARH can do it, they're going to have to make gear up for it. And I'm telling you guys that it is absolutely deplorable what those people are working in. I mean, you're sharing one bathroom with clients and everybody that works there. I mean, they've got some offices that's got 4 and 5 people stacked in them. I mean, they got little dividers in them, and they had me sit down and said, "Sit here," and I could hear what they were sitting over there talking about, and that's HIPAA, that's everything in the world. So it's a really bad situation. I mean, and if I hadn't had so many calls on it, I probably would say, "Hey, let's put this back out." And I think it's ridiculous. I don't know who owns that, but there again in Harlan, Kentucky, there's not a lot of options. There's just not a lot of options. Village Square Center that's a mall. That's a mall. So I'm sure that's some empty mall space is what they're renting there. That's what that is.
Yeah, which they're probably getting zero.
Yeah.
Okay.
I make the motion. We go ahead.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion second. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Senator Girdler, Senator Maiden,
Aye.
Senator Thomas, Representative Petrie, Representative Stalker,
Yes.
Representative Thomas,
Yes.
Co-Chair McPherson, Chair Funky Fromar.
I've got reservations.
Chairman, Madam Chairman, can we make a request to lower the term on the lease?
That's where I was going.
I know you can make the request, and I know they don't have to, but would that be possible for you to go back and tell them we approved it for 2 years or 3 years?
I think I can certainly do whatever the committee wishes. I think that for a lessor to invest into a property like that and then the result be a shorter term would probably be problematic.
Okay. I was just thinking if we were going to try to go another route, that might give us a little time to think. But so if we can't, then I say go ahead. My motion stands.
Co-Chair McPherson,
So my vote would be yes.
Chair Funky Fromar.
I'm a no, and I would like to see the length of time reduced. I do think that $25.62 investment, even though if it's reduced for 3 years, they would certainly recapture substantial amount of their investment into that property, and then it's ready for the next person. So it does pass with favorable expression.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I think, Natalie, we've had the opportunity to work together for some time. I don't think this is uncommon. We're so concerned about this budget cycle, and how can we pursue something unique and co-location and other opportunities. So how we might promote perhaps differently. And if we need to take some legislative action, perhaps you and I can talk a little further offline so we can support your efforts as well. So thanks for giving us an opportunity to puzzle around this a bit.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. So next is I think we have each lease agreement. We had a total of 10. So we can roll the other ones together. Do I have a motion to roll the remainder together?
So I'll move that we roll the remainder since I unrolled the other.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
A motion in a second. And Rep. Thomas seconds that motion. All right, Mrs. Bronner, you may
Thank you
continue.
so much.
Nope. This is though that we
Okay.
don't have questions.
Okay, no worries either way. Okay, so the first lease renewal is for the Unified Prosecutorial System for the Commonwealth's Attorney, which is PR 2591 in Jefferson County for 24,233 square feet of space at $16.55 per square foot, or $401,056.16 annually through June 30th, 2027. The Cabinet for Health and Family Services has 6 lease renewals. The first is PR 2829 in Montgomery County for 11,544 square feet at $13.50 per square foot, or $155,844 annually through June 30th, 2027. PR 3282 in Franklin County is for 15,465 square feet at $7.55 per square foot, or $116,760.76 annually through June 30th, 2029. PR 3855 in Bourbon County is for 8,275 square feet at $13.20 per square foot, or $109,230 annually through June 30th, 2028. PR 4486 in Letcher County is for 19,285 square feet at $9.26 per square foot, or $178,579.12 annually through June 30th, 2027. PR 5425 in Fayette County is for 92,573 square feet at $8.85 per square foot, or $819,271.04 annually through June 30th, 2031. And the last for CHFS is PR 5510 in Harrison for 6,414 square feet at $18 per square foot, or $115,452 annually through June 30th, 2028. Then we have a renewal for the Department of Corrections for PR 4496 in Jefferson County for 14,806 square feet at $10.92 per square foot, or $169,091.52 annually through June 30th, 2029. Then for the Department of Juvenile Justice, PR 4232 in Franklin County for 24,571 square feet at $9.41 per square foot, or $231,213.12 annually through 2031. And then lastly, the Department of Natural Resources, PR 4245 in Pike County for 9,436 square feet at $13.50 per square foot, or $127,386 annually through June 30th, 2030. And that concludes the renewals.
Do we have any questions? I will just make a statement. Out of the 10 that we just looked at, 7 were at or less than the average county rate, and all were substantially less than the Harlan County location. So thanks for your diligent negotiating effort, Natalie. Do I have a motion for approval
I move we approve.
and a second? Representative Stalker. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Senator Girdler, Senator Maiden, Senator Thomas, Representative Petrie, Representative Stalker,
Yes.
Representative Thomas,
Aye.
Co-Chair McPherson,
Yes.
Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Yes. Okay. Those have been approved. Thank you, Ms. Bronner.
Thank you so much.
And we have Ms. Paget waiting for us, and not often do you get to present. So are you ready for this?
I am. It's actually my first time presenting, so
Well, welcome.
thank you.
We are very kind and ready for you. And the green button looks like it might be green, but make sure it's bright green.
Okay.
And then pull that microphone close to us, close to you, so we can hear you well.
Is that better? Okay, great. There's 2 action items to begin, or do you want me to roll through both of those, or one at a time?
Do I have a motion to roll these together? We have 2 previous debt issues, 2 new debt issues, and 3 SFCC debt issues requiring action, and a new debt issue, and 2 previous debt issues that will require no action. So we would need a motion to roll the 2 new debt issues into one roll call vote. Do I have a motion? Representative Thomas? And a second by Senator Thomas. Okay. Any member object? All right. Mrs. Paget, please begin with the 2 new debt issues.
Okay. The first item for your consideration is Murray State University. They are seeking approval to finance approximately $15 million in general receipts revenue bonds, Series 2026A. Bond proceeds will be used to finance the project identified as Athletics Facilities Improvement Pool, as authorized in House Bill 6 of the 2024 regular session. The bonds are expected to be sold through a competitive sale currently scheduled for February 25th, with a closing date of March 18th. The next new bond issue report for your consideration is Kentucky Housing Corporation. They are seeking approval to issue approximately $125 million in tax-exempt and taxable single-family mortgage revenue bonds, Series 2026A and B. Bond proceeds will be used to provide ongoing mortgage financing for first-time low and moderate-income Kentucky homebuyers. This issuance represents the 3rd tranche of the $400 million authorization approved by the committee in March of 2025. The bonds are expected to be sold through a negotiated sale, currently scheduled for February 10th, with a closing date of February 26th.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? Representative McPherson?
You said this was a 3rd tranche at the 400 million. Is there any more left, or is this to put it
This
all?
is the last.
This is the last.
Yes, the authorization actually expires March 1st of 2026, so this will be the last issuance of this tranche.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. There are no further questions? Madam Secretary, please call a roll. Oh, I think we. I've made the motion. Motion and a second, yes. Oh, that was actually to roll them in. Yeah, the 2 new debt issues, let's see.
I'll officially make the motion to approve.
Okay. Representative Thomas, thank you. And do I have a second? Senator Thomas, thank you to second that motion. Madam Secretary, I think we're ready for you.
Senator Girdler, Senator Maiden, Senator Thomas, Representative Petrie, Representative Stalker,
Yes.
Representative Thomas,
Aye.
Co-Chair McPherson,
Yes.
Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Yes. Thank you. Those 2 new debt issues were approved. Could you please continue with the Turnpike Authority debt issue requiring no action?
Yes. The Turnpike Authority of Kentucky is scheduled to issue Economic Development and Road Revenue Refunding Bonds, Revitalization Projects 2026 Series A and Series B. This issuance will refund certain outstanding Turnpike Authority bonds to achieve net present value savings through a variety of financing techniques. The bonds are expected to be sold through a negotiated sale currently scheduled for March 3rd, with a closing date of April 2nd.
That's exciting. Mm-hmm. So it estimated to save how much money?
So there's actually, it's a refunding of Series A. Series B is an optional tender. So in your packet, it presented if we got 100% participation on the tender. They're expected closer to 20 to 30% participation. Mm-hmm. So those savings will actually be lower. but they just wanted to present if we did get 100% participation, what the savings could be.
Excellent. Great. Thank you for the diligence around
Yes.
our taxpayer dollar. Excellent. That transaction required no action. Does any member have any other questions on that? Okay, great. So you may continue with the two previous debt issues. These require no action, and after that, we'll make a motion to roll the three SFCC debt issues into one roll call vote.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see, the first informational item is for the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority, Common Spirit Health. They issued revenue bonds in the amount of $52,605,000 to refund their 2011 bonds. This issuance closed on December 17th, 2025, and does not constitute a liability or obligation of the Commonwealth. The last informational item is for the Kentucky Housing Corporation Conduit Multifamily Housing Revenue Bonds, Meadows at McNeely Lake Project, Series 2025. They provided $40.5 million to finance a multifamily residential rental facility located in Jefferson County. The bonds closed on December 23rd, 2025, and also does not constitute a liability or obligation of the Commonwealth.
Does any member have any questions on that? Okay, those debt issues require no action. So before continuing with the three SFCC debt issues requiring action, do I have a motion and a second to roll them into one roll call vote? I have a motion by Chair McPherson and a second by Rep. Stalker. Thank you. Any member object? All right, Ms. Paget, may
All
begin.
right. The first SFCC issuance is a new money issuance for Breathitt County in the amount of $7 million, which will fund roof replacements at the high school and Highland Turner Elementary. SFCC's participation is estimated at 4.9%. The last two are refundings. The first is for Allen County in the amount of $4.75 million to refund the district's 2013 bonds, and it's expected to generate approximately $140,400 in net PV savings. The last refunding is for Grayson County in the amount of $4,490,000, which will also refund the district's 2013 bonds, and is expected to produce approximately $125,300 in net PV savings.
Does any member have any questions? I am thrilled to see $265,695 made available for something in these two school districts. Very good, very good. All right. So do I have a motion? Senator Thomas, and a second, Representative Stalker. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Girdler, Senator Maiden, Senator Thomas, Representative Petrie, Representative Stalker,
Yes.
Representative Thomas,
Aye.
Co-Chair McPherson,
Yes.
Chair Funky Fromeyer.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Paget. These passed with favorable expression, and you did a great job
Thank
on
you.
your first time presenting. You're welcome back anytime
Oh, great.
at the
Thank you.
presentation table.
Okay.
We know you've been here before. Okay, so next on our agenda item is adjournment. But before that, it looks like our next meeting is Thursday, February 19th. We'll take the same approach if you want to mark your calendars to acknowledge upon adjournment. And you might have noted that the front of your binder was rather thick. We've got on an annual basis, and candidly, I'm sharing this because I was a little surprised when I finally figured it out. There are groups that report to us, and those come in sections throughout the year. So our last meeting in December did include the Louisville Arena Authority. They weren't able to come back in January, so they will be coming back in February. And I've received several questions and requests for further information. So just so you know, they are coming back in February and plan to present the areas that we had some questions and they didn't have as much detail provided at that time. So you can plan for that on Thursday, February 19th. With that, we are adjourned. thanks for being here.